guys, welcome to Do Talking to Me. My name is Sid and I'm a fan of Scooby-Doo. Hopefully that's obvious since I have a Scooby-Doo video series. I made a big retrospective on Scooby-Doo Where Are You that was a series overview of the show that went into its development, but I feel like I need to go even more in depth. Allow me to introduce Scooby-Doo's Day, a weekly video series every Tuesday where I review an episode of the original series in broadcast order. Let's begin with, well, the beginning. What a Night for a Night. What a Night for a Night was originally aired on September 13th, 1969. It was the first episode broadcast, but I'm not sure if it was the first episode created, though this is one of only 2 episodes that has a unique title card, so it is likely that this was the first episode made before the subsequent episodes switched to the standard title cards. What's remarkable about the episode is that it's the first episode of a TV show that perfectly introduces its characters.
Go see what it is, Scooby. Don't worry. I'm right behind you.
What's so wrong?
This is the first ever piece of Scooby-Doo media, but it doesn't feel at all unfamiliar after half a century of Scooby-Doo content. It's the Scooby-Doo we know and love to this day, fully formed. This was necessary for TV at the time, of course, because stations needed to be able to air episodes of shows out of order and allow people to get into a show without worrying about continuity. But it's still pretty amazing how everything was figured out almost immediately with this episode. Shaggy even says zoinks, and there are even Scooby snacks. The monster that the gang encounters in the first mystery is the Black Knight, a haunted suit of armor that has something to do with the disappearance of Professor Hyde White, an archaeologist. After delivering the armor to the museum curator, Mr. Wickles, explains the legend of the armor in a way that seems very superstitious for a man of science.
The Black Knight is supposed to come alive when the moon is full.
After discovering a pair of glasses designed for archaeology at the museum, the gang figures that something must be going on at the museum related to the missing Hyde White and investigate the place after dark by breaking in and trespassing on private property.
Then, how do we get in?
Easy. Shay goes through that window up there.
This is a surprising instance of an early mainstream TV cartoon depicting characters committing a crime nonchalantly. The gang encounters at various points the Black Knight himself, who is just a walking suit of armor with eyes. Nothing flashy for the first Scooby-Doo villain, but I think that's by design. This was a rare, spooky-themed cartoon show at the time, so Hanna-Barbera likely wanted to ease children into this new sort of show and didn't want to overwhelm them with something like the spooky space kook. The location of the museum is also pretty low-key. It's just a museum that's dark. Nothing too sinister or alien overall about the environment. The early episodes definitely seem like a transition into the much more exotically creepy monsters and locales that would come later. The museum is much more of a mundane sort of place. This first mystery isn't the best example of what would come later. The episode is much more heavy on gags than intrigue, admittedly. The episode literally only has one suspect that could be the monster, but with all the gags, it's easy to overlook this. The evil plot is revealed to be the forgery of paintings at the museum, and the Black Knight is ultimately thwarted when Shag and Scoob fly a World War I plane into him, and also destroy said plane. Again, I'm surprised the gang wasn't charged for these crimes. The Black Knight himself is unmasked and revealed to be Mr. Wickles, big surprise, who wanted to get Hyde White out of the way so the fellow wouldn't get wise on the forgery scheme. Why Wickles held Hyde White hostage in plain sight of the museum indefinitely while scaring off any intruders instead of, I don't know, murdering him? I can't say.
Wickles just used the story to cover up my mysterious disappearance.
With the trademark exclamation of his name while donned in the armor that once frightened him, Scooby closes the episode. What a Night for a Night is a solid example of a Scooby-Doo episode. I can see why they started the show with this. The monster is imposing but not too frightening, and it introduces the premise, characters, and formula well. It is clear that the creators of the show didn't quite have a firm hold on the formula yet, and had to rely on gags more than setting up a solid mystery. I mean, the story of this episode is pretty simplistic, even by Scooby standards, but this is still an episode that holds up today. I give it 4 boxes of Scooby snacks out of 5. Want a double dose of Scooby-Doo every Tuesday? Support the channel by donating to the Dr. Wolfula Patreon or channel memberships. You'll get a bonus full companion video commentary where I'm watching the episodes I review. Link in the description to my What a Night for a Night video commentary on Patreon. If you like this episode of Do Talking to Me, like it, and if you loved it, subscribe for more and click the bell icon to keep track of future uploads and streams. streams. I'd like to thank my true Wolfulite Patreon supporters and channel members for their pledges. The channel would be nothing without your continued contributions. Thank you guys. Here's a full list of all of my Patreon supporters and channel members as well, scrolling by. Thanks everyone. Follow the channel on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dr. Wolfula. Finally, hang out with a virtual Dr. Wolfula in the Popbase app today, complete with quizzes, vids, and other groovy stuff. Alrighty, my name is Sid. Thanks for watching. See you all next time. Jeepies.